Welcome to another edition of the Story Behind the Car, and this is John's GTO, and John and I met last year, I guess it was. We shot one of your other vehicles, and
Right.
So what do we have here, John? This is amazing.
It's a 1964 GTO Sunfire Red metallic convertible, 4-speed Tri-Power with a fender mirror, and pretty great car.
And tell me about the fender mirror. I know I asked you that before in another show.
I think it was DeLorean. You know, he did that on 63 and 64. I think DeLorean liked that because the GTO was kind of named after the Ferrari, and a lot of those race cars had fender mirrors.
Yes.
So you wouldn't have to look down to look at the mirror. So that's the only thing we could figure out. But it's really kind of a 1-2 year only thing on GTOs.
Yeah.
And actually, it was only 1 year on GTOs, but then the big cars had it for a couple of years.
And I know you're going to open the hood in a minute, but are these functional?
No.
I didn't think so. But it's a beautiful, beautiful look.
Great. Yeah, they look great. Yeah.
And you said it's a 4-speed?
4-speed, yeah.
Can I open the door, John?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's a handshaker or a hog leg? Or you just call it a manual transmission?
Manual, yeah.
Yeah. And did you restore this vehicle?
It partially, some of it was done when I got it. I bought the car Kentucky Lake about 26 years ago, and the guy had done a paint job on it. He painted it gold, and when I seen it on eBay, I seen that it was a Sunfire car, which is a really rare color. So I had to get it. I went down there and bought the car to Kentucky Lake. And then after a few years of owning it and kind of shaking it down, we decided to go ahead and put the original color back on it.
And when you say you saw that it was this was the original color, did you look it up by the VIN or?
On the data plate.
Oh, okay.
N1 is what's on the firewall, N1, and that's Sunfire Red. Which
okay.
Is, slam it. Go ahead, just slam it. Yeah, there you go.
It is a gorgeous color.
Yeah, and it was bought in Grossinger Pontiac in Chicago, Illinois. So it was a Pontiac, Michigan assembly plant.
Okay.
Okay.
And original price was what, 30?
36, 39.
39.
Yeah. Kind of pricey for that year. Because even later on, the high dollar 69s and 70s were like $4,500.
Man, oh man. And did they have not an alloy wheel, but did they have like a sport wheel? And
that's it, right there. That was the flipper hubcaps.
Yeah.
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 3-bar flippers.
Yeah. It's a great look. It reminds me of an Oldsmobile, maybe in the late 60s. The Oldsmobile had those wheels.
Here,
what do they call this color?
Sunfire Red Metallic.
Sunfire
Sunfire.
Red
Metallic.
Yeah.
I love it. This is one of those colors I would spot you on the other side of the interstate going the other way. It'd be like, you see that?
Can you hold off a little bit while we're shooting the video?
Ahead,
yeah, no worries. So, I know it's a Tri-Power, what
389, 3.2 barrel.
Man. And the battery is the real deal.
It's a later version of it, but
yeah,
they're really hard to get right now.
Yeah. Holy cow.
And
tell me about the power steering.
That's the first generation early power steering with the double pulley. That's pretty much all by itself.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Was Pontiac or did GM do it on any other vehicles?
No,
or?
just on this one. There's a second design later. They changed it.
And any story behind it? Any rationale for why they would have 2 pulleys?
You know, early on, this is a high performance muscle car. You know, they never put a big motor in a little car. You know? And my theory behind the whole thing is this being the first muscle car is that we had like 30-something thousand of these on the street in 64.
Okay.
Then in 65, we had like 87,000 on the street.
Holy crap.
Okay. Then in 66, you know, another 80 to 90,000 GTO Tri-Power 4-speeds running around. Not all of them Tri-Power 4-speeds, but a lot. We're running around on the streets. before Chevy or anybody caught up in '67 with having that many cars.
Yes.
So you figure we had 200,000 cars on the street kicking butt everywhere.
Isn't that
you
crazy?
know? Yeah, I mean, Chevy had their special motors and everybody had their special motors, but they were just very few of those cars, you know. And this, you're talking 200,000 GTOs,
Man.
you know, out there,
Yeah.
just mopping up the streets, you know, making a lot of people mad.
And this is all accurate to the way it was made originally?
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah, it's very, very close. Very close. As close as I can get it. I mean.
So I've developed a email relationship with a guy in Romania that writes for Auto Evolution magazine, and I know he'll jump on this one. Mm-hmm. I'll email him tonight to let him know that we shot this.
Yeah, the 3 Rochester 2 barrels are just, they're a blast. You know, when you jump on it and they come in, it's it lets you know.
Yeah. And the grease pen on the firewall,
yeah, that's just something I didn't have the original stuff off the firewall because it had already been cleaned before I got the car. But so the guy that found this car and did the first kind of like redo on the car, he found it. He bought it in '78. That's the year I graduated from high school.
Okay.
Okay, so in '78 he bought it and he put it on his boathouse in Kentucky Lake till 1998. So for 20 years,
Wow.
it sat in unrestored in his boathouse.
Did he start it up and drive it at all? Or
No, I think it just sat there, and then he decided in 1998 to get it out, and he sent it over to a body shop, and they did a body shop kind of paint job on it, and then somebody must have rebuilt this motor because I haven't touched it, and they did the upholstery and the convertible top. Well, that's the way I got it.
Wow.
So then all I did is, after I had it for a few years, a friend of mine, Ray Mansering, with Walnut Park Auto Body, he painted this car for me, and he just called me one day and said, "Hey John, why don't you bring that car down and let's get it painted." So I stripped all the chrome, gutted the interior, top, everything, and just gave him the bare body. And he, in about, I guess, 6 weeks, which is just unreal to today's standards, to be able to get a car through that fast. And they knocked a few of the dings and dents out of it, little things, and blocked it. And
the paint is amazing.
It is really good.
Yeah.
And this is it's at least a 20-year-old paint job.
Wow.
You know, so there's another good
thank
angle
you.
for looking at this.
Now,
interior.
is that for tissues?
Oh, yeah, that's a tissue dispenser.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to add a little more bling for the interior. Now I redid all that, painted all that dash correctly how it would have been from the factory. We matched all the colors. The guy that paint rep came in and spent a day matching paint on this car, and then they gave me spray out cards to approve everything. And there's about 7 or 8 of these known. A lot of times the paint faded out so bad on them, they looked horrid after 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Because the sun just ate the paint up. So people would just say, "Oh, I never painted that color." So they all left, went to the junkyards. They didn't get restored. So there's very few of them now.
Yeah.
And they're kind of sought after. I know somebody up in Ohio, Marvin has, I think, 3. He has a Le Mans exactly like this, a 64 Le Mans. Then he has a GTO that's an all original car.
Okay.
With almost all the options, but it has a black top, I think, and a black interior, and that.
Yeah, this color combination. So in high school, I had a guy I knew had a Tempest, 64 Tempest. What a nice car. Oh wow.
So that's another neat thing about 64s. You don't have to go through the license, behind the license plate. It's up here. It's nice, easy to get to.
Yeah.
And it's just, my kids have been in this car. My daughter, I used to pick her up from high school, and all her friends would pile in it, and I'd have to take them all home after after school.
Yeah, what a treat for them.
Yeah, we had a ball. All kinds of pictures and that taken in it. But yeah, it's.
So I see that's the motor for the top.
Yeah.
And what are the kind of the hoses off to the left and right?
Those are the hydraulic lines.
Hydraulic lines. I figured as much.
Yeah.
So it's an electric motor that pumps the hydraulics?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then you got a removable light.
Yep. Trunk light.
Yeah. And you have a few GTOs, do you not?
Yeah, about 8 now.
It's a curse, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh. So we've been talking about shooting this for a while, then I saw you here at the show and you're like, oh, it isn't even clean. To me, it is just gorgeous, John.
Yeah, it's like a go-to car. It's a go-to driver. I've been driving it for years and haven't had to do much, you know, a little bit of fiddling with the carburetors and they the poor gas they have out nowadays.
Yeah.
But it's a beauty. We call this car, my daughter named it, we named it Maybelline, because the girls say they have nail polish this color.
Oh, wow.
They come up and everybody goes, what color is this? And they go, I have nail polish that color. And I say, well, that's why we call it Maybelline.
Yeah, very nice. And the dashboard, that white really pops, and then the entire interior really pops.
Yeah, that's called Wimbledon white, and that's what they were painted. It was a really common Corvette color for interiors.
And I
that's
think
what
Ford
they
had a Wimbledon white too.
Yeah, it's really good because it's not like refrigerator white. It would look awful if it was refrigerated.
Yeah.
It needs to be a little antique-y looking because
You know, I never noticed it, 6.5 liter. I didn't realize they put liters back then.
oh yeah, well that was DeLorean. You know?
Yeah.
DeLorean wanted, you know, like the 6-cylinder, the overhead cam 6. You know, DeLorean was into racing in those cars. He wanted to put small, you know, and so did Shelby. He wanted to put the 302, and they came out with the 427, and they made him race the 427. They said, we're getting rid of that 302 program or whatever they had.
Yeah.
The small engines. They wanted light engines because you could throw the cars around better, and you didn't have to redesign the whole chassis, you know, to
Yeah.
do that. So I mean, that's the way, at least the way I feel like the documentaries I watched. I'm no expert on anything.
Well, DeLorean made such an impact on the automobile and racing and
Cocaine.
cocaine, yeah. But styling and the stuff that he demanded.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great guy.
Yeah, we need to get the blue car out one of these days. And
Well, I'm ready when you.
yeah,
you
I got to
are,
get it
John.
out of the shed. It's in the trailer.
So a single bull for the
Right. And as long as you drive like a normal person, it's no big deal. You have
Yeah.
an emergency brake. That's why they call it an emergency brake.
Yeah.
You know, just in case of an emergency. But I just like the look. It's kind of that primitive look.
Yes.
Early, but it's not as primitive as the earlier 60s cars. They're really more difficult. You've had the 61. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just, to me, this is like, starts to become a car. In 67, 68 basically, they really become more modern.
Yes.
These cars, they're just fun and easy to work on. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Very, very simple. Mm-hmm. Well, John, thank you so much for telling us the story behind your car, showing us your beautiful, beautiful car. What is your favorite thing about the vehicle?
I think its uniqueness, the color, and the just the styling. You know, the styling of this car is just, it's early, it's big and long, and then it's also kind of a little shorter than most of the cars of that time period. You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, just when you just look at it like this, you know. And when I threw those white wall tires on it, that just made it. I mean, it took me so many years to figure that out.
Yeah.
And I had every kind of wheel option you could have on this thing. But yeah, I think 64. And matter of fact, I have another 64 Le Mans convertible. It's a red car that I just bought. And I may restore it, but I'm probably going to sell it as a project. But as soon as I sell a car, I've got another one of these I'm looking at.
Yeah.
It's a done car.
And you have your blue one is a 64.
No, it's a
hardtop.
5.
Oh, is it a 5?
Yeah.
But it's a hardtop.
So it's a sedan. Yeah,
Okay.
It's got the post.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. The one up that was at McCacken.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But I really like this one.
Yeah, I do too. It's really tough, man. I think about selling it sometimes, and I go, man, you know, what are you going to do? You know.
Yeah.
It's like losing a child.
Yes.
You know.
What's crazy is this was considered a mid-sized car back then.
Right, and yeah, I remember the full-size cars were just gigantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't fit in my car. Wouldn't fit in my garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's a great style.
Yeah.
Actually, too bad we couldn't get a picture. I'm sure I got pictures of it with the top down. You can find. I can send you. But
Yeah.
You could put in there, but yeah, it's just a little chilly tonight to put the top down. It really looks good with the top up at this point too.
Yeah, I like it with the top up personally.
just
yeah, we
pops.
had that storm that just came through today and really
Right.
cooled things off. Well, I hate to turn off the camera just because it's such a beautiful car, but every great story has to come with an end. Well, thank you so much, John.
All right, Tom.